In this video, I'm going to break down the most ideal paid ad strategy that you can use to help scale your agency past 10, 20, 30K plus months with all this lead generation coming from your paid ads and building the most high quality predictable funnel to bring in the best prospects possible. This is the exact strategy that we used to collect 200,000 cash collected last month, all through this paid ad system where we average a 9x ROAS every single month. Now, I'm going to break down a few limiting factors on what organic does with paid, how to increase your booking rates, how to get a better quality prospect from your ads, and go through everything A to Z so you can take this video and copy it into your funnel and hopefully get more predictable sales calls starting this week. Before we begin, I want to preface that this video is mainly for agency owners between 10 to 30K a month. Between 0 to even possibly 15K a month, you maybe not should be running paid ads. It depends how much capital you have, as if you only have 2,000 in capital that you're willing to spend and you lose it all with paid ads that don't work, we don't want this to affect your business overall. So that's why I always recommend people start with organic cold outreach and just build their way up where they build enough capital to be reinvest into paid ads. So just want to preference that for anybody that's watching. Now, step number 1 is going to be competitor research and scripting. So what you want to do is go to your meta ads library or use any paid ads tools if you'd like, and start with doing competitor research in the US, in Canada, and Australia, as those are the big 3 markets. What you want to do is look up anybody that's in your niche or maybe some keywords that will show you which people are in your niche, do some investigating through Instagram, and try to find people in the space that are in your niche that you know are crushing it, and try to look at their ad accounts and see what they're using. Now, the whole goal here isn't just copy and paste the exact ads they're doing. You want to analyze the hooks, the value points, and the funnels that these people are using and essentially make it 10% better. I want you to create a Google Sheet and just start listing out these competitors up to 10 to 15 if possible, and have them on a Google Sheet with the link to the meta ads library and the link to their funnels. And this way you can constantly keep track of your competitors. And when you're trying to think of new ad ideas to film, you have a sheet to go to where you can click around and see what is working for them. It's important to only be looking at ads that have been running for longer than 30 days at least. That way you know they are showing some success. They're most likely profitable, which is why they're still running them, and gives you a good outlook on which ones are performing versus the ones that they just launched, on what they're testing and iterating going forward. Now, this has to do with both video and image creatives. We run both in our business. You'll notice anybody that runs a lot of ads runs both images and videos. There's different personas that react to different types of ads, and we find that that mix gives a good chance of them performing because you're offering a ton of different angles to different personas that you're blasting out with your ads. Now, it's also recommended to create a Google Docs or a Notion folder and just have your target ICP in a document. You can get ChatGPT, Claude to help you out and kind of define what your ideal ICP is for your offer, what your content messaging should look like for your offer, and just all the documents in total, just to have it somewhere organized that you can reference when you're scripting new ad creatives and anything like that. It's definitely a very good recommendation. Once you have your competitor research figured out, once you have those people on a list and you have a general idea of the ad creatives that you're going to create and which hooks to use, that you've made 10% better by adding your own spin on it and your own unique branding, then we're going to start with the funnel overview. So the most ideal funnel that you want to get high quality prospects with is starting off with you could start with this, a top of funnel meta ads with a very strong offer such as a guarantee. For us, we use a profit guarantee for the end of the contract. Your guarantee could be X amount of qualified appointments in the next 30 days, X amount of listing, X amount of house remodels, whatever it may be. Start with something that's low risk and also provides like a lot of value on the front end where it gets people's attention. On these top of funnel ads, you could try different styles such as raw talking head. So if you're running around with your iPhone in your hand, walking around your apartment or out in the street and saying the ad script that way, do another video script with a camera like this where you're talking around, it's highly edited. And then you can also try a split screen mirror board type of ad where you're sharing your screen on the bottom half, you're talking on the top half and kind of going over everything visually. Again, all these relate to different types of personas in the market. So I recommend trying different styles with that. But at least just starting with your top of funnel meta ads. I'll go over the campaign structure after. You want to funnel everybody from these top of funnel ads to a landing page with a VSL and a calendar embed. Now, a lot of people tend to start with instant forms when they're starting to run ads, which it can be good. Obviously, you're going to get a ton of lead volume from it, but the quality of lead is going to be so much lower, and you still have a friction point where they come in as a instant form and you still need to be able to call them to get them on a booked appointment or a booked sales call over Zoom. Whereas the calendar embed way with the landing page, make sure that people book in and all you're getting is booked calls, and then that's it. The other people that didn't book in calls, you can retarget later with the Metal Pixel. But I mean, you can start with instant forms if you really need to, but just make sure you have speed to lead involved, where as soon as you get an instant form lead, you're phoning that person as soon as possible. But again, it's not recommended. I do recommend you start with the landing page with a VSL and calendar embed. I'll go over that in a bit, but before that, once they go through the calendar on the landing page, you want to have pre-call automations. So this is where you have automations set up mainly over email and some over SMS of sending the prospect case studies that you have, kind of going over the transformation of I brought this person from this place to this place with our service or with their system that we've built. Objection handling emails. So if you have certain objections within your niche that have to do with, oh, Facebook ads don't work or anything around those, you can build out emails saying like, hey, Jeremy, I know this is a common question we get in the space, and then kind of just define that pre-objection so you don't get it on the call. They get sent reminder texts. It's important not to have your reminder text be the standard Calendly auto reminders or they look super generic or robotic. You want to seem like it's actually from you or very human, like, hey, this is Jeremiah from X agency. Just wanted to reach out and let you know that we have the call in 24 hours. Super excited. See you on that call. Something more humanized that goes a long way, so people don't think they're just in some type of process that isn't customized towards them. You can also include a couple emails just building curiosity and excitement for the call to help increase your show up rate. That's something you may deal with at the start, is just a lot of no-shows, and a lot of that is people just kind of see the automations you have, or there's not a lot of curiosity built up, where they've made it booked in the call out of interest, and then as the call's coming up, it's like, I don't really want to take an hour of my time to hop on there. So a lot of these emails should be around building curiosity and excitement about the service itself as well. Next is making sure to triage the call. So you or a setter should be calling the morning of the sales call to confirm the appointment, and at least ask 1 to 2 main qualifying questions just to ensure that it's worth your time hopping on the call with them. So whether it's like if they're actually an active person who's willing to invest, don't ask the price they want to invest yet. You can save that for the sales call, but just like 1 or 2 main questions just to be like, okay, this person is the type of person that this offer would work for and they might be interested, so let's get them on. But it's important to triage the call and just like get them on the phone to confirm they're showing up to the appointment. And this is going to be the biggest thing that's going to help increase your show up rates, is having you or a setter just call these people beforehand and setting up the call. And lastly, of course, the actual sales call itself. So that's a whole nother topic of going through your discovery, your pitch, tracking your calls for training reviews and follow-ups. But generally, this is the entire funnel you want set up. And this is legit all we use to get to 200K a month. Obviously, we have some aspects that are a little bit more built out, which I'll go over later on, but this is essentially the whole funnel that you need. Now, moving on to the exact funnel build. So this is going to be what your landing page should actually look like. The main thing to get over here is that your landing page does not need to be complex. I see a lot of people build out their landing pages with Lovable and they have like 15 sections in it and it looks super crazy, a lot of animations. That is cool to have for your website because people will do research and you have that set up. If this gives a perception that you're high value, but the landing pages itself that you're running from your ads needs to be very simple, where all you want them to do is click a button and book on a call. And I'll go over that and what it actually looks like. But essentially, the whole structure should be calling out your ICP. So it can be a banner at the top of, if you're a home remodeler that's doing over $1 million a year, if you're a real estate agent doing over 70K GCI a year, having calling out your ICP, you have a very strong headline with your guarantee and offer attached within it. So we get home remodelers X appointments in the next 30 days, or you don't pay. Like, you want that guarantee and the offer as the main bold headline that they see when they load up the page. You want a very direct call to action to book in a discovery call. So it's, if you're interested, book in a discovery call below. You want no other call to actions on that screen other than book in a discovery call or whatever you have for your certain call to action. And then you want social proof. So below the calendar embed, it should just be all social proof, video testimonials if you have them, which works way better, image testimonials, anything you have, just start spamming them below at the bottom of the page. And that way you just have the credibility available for them to see and just keep it super simple. So I'll go over a couple examples of 2 pages here, starting with ours that we use, which again, get us the 200K a month last month. So this is our live landing page right here. As you can see, I did exactly as we said. We call it our target ICP at the top. We have a quick little messaging, and then we have our headline with the guarantee that is bolded. We have our VSL that when they click on it, it'll start, but for the thumbnail, it's like a GIF. Definitely recommend you do a GIF thumbnail that you can do through Wistia, a hosting platform that you can put your VSL on. And I'll go over the VSL in a little bit how that works, but essentially then there's a call to action button. We have like a testimonial line. We have again our guarantee, and then we have a call to action to schedule a discovery call, where they go on the calendar, they go to book a time, and then they have a couple qualifying questions. So like how many deals they're doing per month, if it makes sense, how much you have to invest in your business. Those are the qualifying questions. We have as featured on, and then we spam testimonials just like I mentioned. And if I go back, this is a person, Daniel Illis. If you know Daniel Illis, you know that he spends so much in ads. He's doing around 5 million a month with this funnel right here. And it's essentially the same thing. We have the guarantee as a headline, call to action. He doesn't even have a VSL in this, which I'm sure he's probably split testing, has the form to opt in and book a sales call, and then he has a bunch of social proof testimonials at the bottom and just spams them. Same thing, Charlie Morgan. If you know Charlie Morgan, if you're in the agency space, you probably know him. Same thing, calls out ICP at the very top, headline with guarantee, VSL with a thumbnail GIF like we have, and then he has call to action button to book in a call directly, just like that. As you can see, everybody is using the right method with running Facebook ads. We started running this funnel right away, and it's always been working for us. So yeah, this is definitely all you need. Again, doesn't need to be complex. Stick to the basics. The last note there is for your VSL, you just want to make sure that it has transformation involved. So the intro should be, if you're this type of person and you want to get to this type of person for your business, then you should do this, this, and this. This is how we help with that. Pre-handles objections, explains the service further, builds curiosity, and is around 5 to 10 minutes long. If you want a further breakdown on a video of like the exact VSL scripting framework, just let me know. But essentially that's kind of the basics you want it to do. You just want to make sure it's efficient in those aspects right there. Now moving on to the campaign ad structure. So there's a lot of controversy over lead generation campaigns and how you should start and the starter budgets. This is what I always recommend to our students and what has worked for us. So if it's working for us, that's really all I know. But essentially what we start off with is the ABO campaign, which is controversial. Some people prefer starting with the CBO. The reason I like the ABO at first is because you can manually set the budget per ad set, so you can properly test which creatives work at first. Now, CBO campaigns have their own value, which we use for essentially scaling winning ads only. But for testing new ads, you're just starting out, you don't know which creatives work for you, I definitely recommend setting up an ABO campaign. Now the structure after that should be 4 to 5 ad sets at $20 a day minimum. You should have broad targeting, not any targeting, no interest, nothing like that. Just set it super broad, and that's due to the Andromeda update, where essentially it's taking all the contacts you're giving in your ads, the primary text, the creative itself, and it's using that to target the right people. So you don't want to manually override it by doing interest targeting. For tracking, you want to make sure that conversion API is set up on the landing page. So you don't want to use a normal metapixel, you want to use conversion API. There's some other better ways to track conversion pixels, but this is the way that's still accurate. It's not always going to be 100% accurate, but it's still accurate enough to be able to get the data and to perform well. And then each ad set with different marketing angles or shoot styles. So like I mentioned, we have 5 different ad sets here, and with each ad set, you want a different angle for your ad. So this is kind of like I mentioned, one that's like more raw talking on your iPhone, FaceTime style, one that's more talking head, one that's a screen share, one that has a value related hook, one that has a time related hook, urgency related hook. Like those are all the things that you should be split testing. And then all the different ad sets have the exact same copy that's universal, that calls out your ICP, offers a pitch, transformation promise, and then just builds curiosity. So if you go to our meta ads library for Versatile Agency, you'll see that every ad has the same copy. It's because that copy does what it needs to do. It calls out our target audience and then goes through everything, and it's pretty long. You can always test different formats, but starting out, you just want to test different creatives, leave the copy itself, and that way you're properly A/B split testing what needs to happen to get the most performance. So this is the whole structure that you should really start with. So again, just one campaign with broad targeting, and then have budget by ad sets. So this could be like $20 a day budget, $20 a day budget, $20 a day budget, $20, $20. So $100 in total. And then under each ad set should only be one ad. So angle 1, ad set 1, it should be ad 1, copy 1. Angle 2, ad set 2 should be ad 2, copy 1. So same copy on each one of these ads, but they're all different videos and all different ad sets. And this way, I'll show you what to do going forward and how to actually scale this and which ones are working, are not working, and what you should do with that. So that's really all you need to start out with. This is the starter campaign built for testing. Again, it's exactly what we did, and just start testing a shit ton of creatives. I'll tell you afterwards what to do going forward and how to continue this process to scale up. But before that, I want to go over organic and how it ties in with paid ads, because this is massive and not a lot of people talk about this. So many people overlook the organic side of paid ads, which sounds silly and it doesn't sound effective, but let me explain. So organic content, when you're posting on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, doesn't always bring in direct calls, but it does mix well with your paid ads to build authority and trust, because you know for sure people in B2B, when you're selling B2B, are definitely doing their research. They're definitely seeing your ad first, piques their interest. They click on your Instagram or Facebook profile and they want to learn more. Now, whatever content you have on there determines their perception on you. If you have 0 organic content and you have 20 followers on your Instagram that you're running ads from, they're going to not trust you at all, and you're going to have to do a lot more selling, a lot more explaining to be able to get them over the edge. Now, when you have a good organic content presence like us, where we have 6K Instagram followers, we have a shit ton of value related content that explains a little bit more what we do, goes over testimonials in detail, goes over pre-framing objections. This makes our ads perform 10 times better. This is how we get a 9x return on our investment every single month, because Meta tracks the people that see your ad first, click on it, don't convert, they watch organic content for the next 3 days, then click on the ad again, convert. That still counts as a conversion from our ads. So that's how our ROAS is so high, because we're mixing it so well with our organic content. And it's what so many people lack, because it does take a lot of time to also start posting organic, and you're not going to see any direct return from it other than when you start running ads. People will just naturally build more authority and trust with you because of your organic content when they do their research. So what I recommend is at least start posting 3-4 times a week on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, just to build out up the organic content. It took us over 4 years to build 6K followers on Instagram, and then Carter's LinkedIn also has 11K followers, which helps us immensely, but it's also why we can generate so many high quality booked calls from our ads every single month. So I definitely recommend you start doing organic. And then going forward, once you get that starter campaign ad up and you have all this set up, you want to talk about scale and continuation. So the biggest rules when it comes to paid ads for your agency is that when your ads are working and you're looking at the dashboard every single morning or every couple days, the ad sets that are performing well, you want to scale those by 20%. So for example, your ad is at $20 a day budget. 2 days later, it's getting some performance, it's still continuing. Then you want to scale it to at least $24, which is 20% of $20. Now, at the budget that we're at, we're spending $20K a month. Then you want to make sure that you're at least doing this every single day, scaling the ads. And then the ads that are underperforming, you want to just immediately shut off, relocate that spend to new ads that you're going to be testing. And that way, a lot of your monies is going towards ads that are winning and spending money, and then a lower percentage of your budget is going towards just testing new ads and finding winners. Once you start running your ads as well, you want to really make sure you're analyzing your cost per booked call, your hook rates, your frequency, and just overall quality of calls that you're taking. Your cost per book call is probably going to be the most important metric, and then also cost per acquisition once you start closing clients from your ads. And this way you can kind of reverse engineer the numbers and what you need to hit. So for example, for us, we figured out that our ideal cost per booked call needs to be under $130. If it's over $130, that's outside of our KPI, and we're just going to shut off that ad. But beforehand, when we first started running ad, and we didn't really know these numbers, we would get a $50 cost per call. We would think it was way too much and then shut off the ad immediately. But now we know that was absolutely fine, because our close rate allows it to still make a ton of profit, and we should have just kept it running, and we shut off an ad way too early. So you want to make sure you have that data, and as you make profit, you want to build out the ad account even further so you can have a CBO campaign that is built for winning ads. So this is where the ads that we have in the ABO campaign, if they are been running for 2 weeks and are still performing, we will throw them and duplicate them into a separate CBO campaign that's at like 150 bucks a day, which is just meant to blast out winning ads in scale. So that's kind of the process we have and what you should do again once you start making profit. And then also you can start making more middle of funnel style content towards people that have viewed 15% of your top of funnel. This type of content and this type of ads are more towards this, again, objection handling, something that's kind of in between that explains you further a little bit more, what makes you different from other agencies, kind of that more middle funnel content that people have seen you before and that you just need to be able to sell more through your ads. And then lastly, eventually you want to start a retargeting campaign, which is currently our top performing campaign for like the last 3 months, where we just throw a shit ton of testimonials, a shit ton of raw case studies, and just like kind of our clients talking on Zoom, and just have very direct call to actions in the primary text and the headline. And this way, like, all these people have seen your top of funnel content, they went and saw your organic content to build trust and authority, they're seeing your middle of funnel content that explaining a little bit more of what you do, and now they have so much interest. Once they see that case study running of something that happened to another client, they're like, yeah, these guys sold me, they hop on the sales call, and your close rate should be pretty good if they've went through all this content that you have built out. So overall, you want to make sure that you analyze data, that you're scaling the budgets, that you're increasing friction on the landing page if you notice that the quality is bad. For example, if someone's budget is way too unrealistic, the type of clients you're bringing in is not good, you can make adjustments to your ads and your landing page to try to avoid those type of people. You want to introduce a CBO campaign for scaling winning ads, and then also the bottom of funnel retargeting campaign that is built with testimonials and all that good stuff. And then overall, just blast out ads. So continue testing 5 to 10 new creatives every single week with variety. Honestly, only 1 out of 20 ads that we test are pure winners that can last for a long time. A lot of them, we just have to go through the stress test and just test them out. If they don't work, shut them off and just continue testing until you find those winners and are able to scale them. So find your average cost per acquisition, find your close rate, find your client lifetime value, and just overall reverse these numbers to hit your monthly revenue goals. For example, this 200K cash collected month we did last month, it was not by mistake. It's because we had our numbers. We're able to aim in each different department which numbers we needed to hit to make that month, and we did it, and it happened, and that's how it goes. Nothing is just unpredictable or mistaken. Now, I know I went over a lot and I don't have enough time to go to everything in detail to show you the exact system I have, but if you want to get our exact creatives testing strategy, if you want to copy and paste the winning funnels that we have to make it easy for you, if you wanted the exact VSL framework we use to split test VSLs, how to farm testimonials for ads, the exact pre-call automations we have, and much more, then we do offer our program called Off Campus. No pressure, but this is built for people between that 10 to 30K a month range with their agency and really want to scale from people that are actively doing it. As you can read here, we have so much shit involved, 3 weekly calls, over 40 members now of a community of just people looking to scale in 2026 with their agency. So if you are interested, click the link in the bio. If not, all good. I appreciate you watching this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Comment if you have any ideas on the next video you want from me. Peace.